Hello, this is Jalen Bush, and this is for my EDLD 583 Creativity and Innovation class. For this assignment, I decided to focus on the method of the World Cafe session for my athletics department. So when it comes to coaching culture that is being built at my school, I feel it's important that all the coaches believe that we are on the same page and that we have a very cohesive understanding of the direction that we would like our teams to go in. With that being said, the coaches and their staff all have to understand that as the athletics department, we want them to accomplish their goals along the way as well. During this World Cafe session, we would gather all the sports teams, coaches, and their staffs for a developmental day of unifying our vision and making sure the objectives are comprehensible for the students and the coaches who are pushing these messages across to their athletes. During this time, the athletics department will go into an explanation for the welcoming of what the World Cafe method is and explain why we are conducting our meeting this way. First, the World Cafe method is one that takes a large group of people and separates them into smaller groups in order to talk about small-scale issues between everyone. This method allows for all voices to be heard during a large group discussion as they are separated into smaller groups. After a set time, roughly 15 to 20 minutes, the whole group minus one table representative will be asked to move to the next table in order to continue the small group conversations, but just with a different demographic of people. Each table will have their own specific topic to discuss. And as the table representative remains, they are there to provide a baseline information on the topic at hand, and then continue that same discussion with, again, a different group of people. After completing the whole rotation around the room and returning back to their original tables, students will then, in this case, coaches will be asked to step away for a recess period while all the information is gathered between the administration staff of the session, and they will look over the notes to find out what stuck out during this session. Or during the smaller group sessions, and what key components are still present or were present during those small group sessions. Once that is completed, all parties will be asked to return back to the room for a brief wrap of information that will be presented to the group. This information will likely be used going forward based on the topic in the conversations. And in this case, it's athletics. So then it will help create a better culture that we are looking to have for our teams going forward. The 5 topics during this World Cafe session that will be discussed are going to be 1, coaching philosophy and consistency, 2, communication and relationships, 3, team culture and core values, 4, professional development and support for the coaches, and then 5, recognition and equity. So each table leader will have 2 subcategories that they will also discuss during those small group sessions, just to keep the conversations flowing. As of now, the current problems that we are experiencing is that certain coaches have developed and curated their own culture that is working, and the student athletes are buying into it. The caveat is other programs have not created this culture or any culture at all and are struggling on and off the field due to that. Their grades are lower than those teams that have created a winning culture, and the ones that don't have a culture per se also struggle behaviorally in and out of the classroom, where students are acting out or purposely misbehaving. I believe that creating a top-down universal cultural change in the athletics, starting with the athletics department, will in turn decrease the number of negative reactions that happen on a day-to-day basis during the school year from the athletes involved in the athletics program through the school. When it comes to causes of this, I would say that some in particular, just to name a few, would be that there are no department-wide cultural expectations within the teams, and this creates a non-cohesive shared vision, which will allow for teams to not follow those expectations while others do. Another cause is the lack of communication across the board. Um, excuse me. Lack of communication allows for limited feedback and a very unclear role for not only the leadership, but the students as well. If they aren't being communicated what the expectation is, there is no expectation to follow. And then the last reason for the cause of this would be recognition inequities. The effect of, uh, I'm sorry, this causes unequal visibility for coaches and programs inside of your athletics department. The effect of not having a culturally wide expectation in your program could result in inconsistent messages between coaches and their athletes and conflicts between teams. Again, the result of lack of communication is low student morale across the board in any sport that you might be involved in, as well as mistrust from students and parents, and potential for rumors. And then lastly, the result of recognition inequities could result in low morale from the student athletes themselves, and resentments from students and coaches, which is not what you want in your program. When it comes to change opportunities, these come from finding the root causes of the issue rather than just looking for symptoms of an issue. This will help you be proactive about seeking out opportunities for change rather than waiting for them to fall before you and then figuring out a solution from there. By being proactive, you are also finding a solution to issues before they actually happen. And you can also begin to proactively find solutions to issues that have not even presented themselves, but have the potential to be present, or even asking around at different facilities and different programs in your area to figure out what issues they're dealing with. And if they're the same, then you already have a solution for it. But if they are different, that gives you the momentum to then go forward and find a solution for that as well. Lastly, you can figure out creative solutions that will solve these deep-rooted issues that you are either encountering already or going to encounter or may potentially encounter, rather than just kind of sticking a band-aid over it and having a solution for a surface level problem. As far as next steps goes, it all comes down to creating a positive culture around the athletics department, and to take the information from the World Cafe session that is intended for the coaches and the administrative staff in the athletics department, to come up with not only tangible but attainable goals that could be outlined either within a 3 or 5 year plan. Just talking about the 5 year plan, this 5 year plan over the course of the first 2 years would establish a baseline of what the expectations are for all the teams, and will allow for key points of data on specific categories outlined from the World Cafe session to be highlighted. Through these data points, you will then be able to figure out a pattern as well as time frames of when incidents are happening, whether it be in season, out of season, or anything along that objective point. But it will allow for you to develop a plan to help, one, mitigate these incidents, but also eliminate them going forward. And then year three would provide you with good tangible data, um, and as far as like the development of student leadership goes, year one and two, just rolling out your underclassmen, so freshmen and sophomores, um, are again learning along with the juniors and seniors, but the juniors and seniors won't be there in year three. Those will be your um, then freshmen and sophomores. So the student leadership of those younger students as they progress through the program will allow for you to have that tangible data on whether or not this is able to stick, whether the time frame was too long or too short, whether you need more development, more proactiveness from coaches, administration, cohesiveness across the board, what have you. But then years 4 and 5 will provide data on the ability to the program's ability to be sustainable, and the ability for the culture shift to be maintainable. Again, this this plan that I explained is on a 5-year basis, but can be shrunk down or elongated to 3 years, like I said, 3 to 5, or even a 7-year plan, starting with sixth graders. Um, it does not necessarily have to be high schoolers, but again, that this is about creating not only a cohesive unit across the board as far as athletics goes, but again, involving the coaches and their programs that they're running, just making sure that we are all on the same page, um, and that there are no flaws in our stitching. So, thank you very much, and um,